fully falling in love with his authenticity. And I'll tell you right now, it's giving me the confidence to do the same. That to me is the power of authenticity and a personal brand. I don't think people are as authentic as they say they are. I think most people put that on as a term, as a front, and that's why I found so much power in today's segment. Rich Ingram coming out and saying, yeah, you know what? I chew snuff. Like I chew chewing tobacco. People don't talk about that. All of a sudden there's somebody listening to the show going, oh, okay, you know what? I like this guy. Maybe I want to work with him. So that to me is what's so, Christina. It's about finding a connection point that makes you real to me as a human. Does that make sense to you?
It totally does. And I think a lot of people, when we think about authenticity, we talked about this, when we think about sharing our story, it oftentimes comes back to the hard part, the very difficult things that we've been through, the ability to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is another one of those words that can be overused.
Yes.
Really, it just means being real and being yourself. Now, I'll say this, it's hard to be authentic in today's society, because sometimes when you're authentically you, and a lot of folks like myself, like growing up neurodiverse, growing up with mental health issues, I'm quirky motherfucker. I'm real quirky. And sometimes when I was authentically myself and I was that quirky person, it wasn't accepted and it wasn't okay. And it was like, would you just stop? Would you just? And so I retreated, and I realized that there was a lot of spaces, typically when I was outside of the confines of my own family and my own home, that it wasn't really safe emotionally to be myself. And so now we're coming out, we're telling people, you have to be yourself. You have to be authentic. And I'm like, but I just spent my entire career in an environment where you actually tried to pull all of that out of me. You told me not to do all those things. You told me I had to dress a certain way, I had to act a certain way, I had to look a certain way. So talk to me about your experience with that. That's a real struggle for a lot of people, especially a little bit later in their career. You told me one thing my entire career, and now you're telling me to switch it up. What do you want me to do?